The story starts with a woman named Alex who just found out her flight to another city has been canceled. At the same time, there is a man named Ben who is also stuck because his flight got canceled due to bad weather. By coincidence, Alex overhears Ben complaining nearby, so she makes a quick call, then walks over to him and offers a solution. She invites him to fly together to the same destination since she has already contacted a private pilot named Walter who is willing to take them to Denver for $800. It turns out Alex is heading to Denver to prepare for her wedding, which is happening in just 2 days. With no time to waste, they immediately get ready to leave, bringing along a dog named New. The problem is, Walter does not even file a proper flight plan. He believes he can handle the trip as long as there is still daylight. Because they are in a rush, Alex and Ben have no choice but to go along with it. During the flight, they chat while enjoying the view from above. Ben reveals that he is a brain surgeon and a patient is waiting for him to perform an urgent operation. Meanwhile, Alex works as a journalist. At first, everything goes smoothly. Even the bad weather does not seem to bother Walter, who is clearly experienced. But suddenly, things take a turn. Out of nowhere, Walter suffers a stroke, mid-flight, loses control, and the plane crashes. Both Alex and Ben pass out. Now they are stuck in the mountains. This is the mountain between us. Later that night, Ben wakes up. Luckily, he is not badly injured, but Alex is still unconscious, and Walter has died. Things get worse when Ben realizes there is no signal at all in this place. While looking around, he notices leaking fuel and uses it along with snow to start a fire and keep warm. The next morning, Ben sees that they are surrounded by endless icy mountains. There is nothing in sight. He feels completely frustrated, especially since Alex still has not woken up. He then buries Walter, and to his relief, he finds that New is still alive and unharmed. That night, Alex finally wakes up and keeps calling out her fiancé's name. Ben feels relieved that she is conscious again. On top of that, he still has a small supply of food, including almonds, candy bars, bread, and cake, enough to last about 3 days. By the second day, Alex's condition starts improving thanks to Ben taking care of her. While working on something, Ben suddenly spots a plane flying overhead. He quickly tries to signal for help, but the plane flies away before noticing them. On the third day, Alex wakes up early because she urgently needs to go to the bathroom. Ben helps her, showing just how kind and caring he is, even though they barely know each other. Feeling frustrated from waiting, Alex wants to go out and look for help on her own, but her condition makes that impossible. So in the end, Ben decides to go instead, heading out alone into the freezing wilderness, with no tools and no clear direction, just hoping to find something. With no tools and no clear direction, Ben keeps climbing through the freezing cold, just pushing himself as far as he can. After a tough climb, he finally reaches the top of a mountain, but there is nothing there. No roads, no cities, nothing at all. Back at the crash site, Alex quietly checks Ben's only bag. Inside, she finds a photo of him with his partner, along with a voice recorder. At the same time, Ben starts heading back, but suddenly slips and nearly falls. Luckily, a rock stops him and saves his life. Not long after, a hungry puma approaches Alex. New immediately starts barking and runs out to chase it away, but the puma still manages to get inside. Alex tries to scare it off with a noise holding her ground. Soon after, Ben returns and finds New injured in the ear from the fight. He then tells Alex that he could not find any way out. Hearing that, Alex starts to lose hope. With their food running dangerously low, they have no choice but to use the dead puma as their next meal, since what they have left will not last much longer. On the fourth day, Alex decides to leave on her own, taking New with her. A few minutes later, Ben wakes up and finds a goodbye note along with a piece of candy. Worried about her condition, he quickly goes after her. After following her tracks, he finally catches up. As they continue moving, Ben realizes Alex is too weak to keep walking, so he keeps talking to her, trying to help her stay warm and conscious. When night falls, they find a cave and decide to stay there. Inside, Alex notices that Ben has given up his gloves so she can wear them. From this moment, Alex begins to truly care about him. She even pulls his hands into her jacket to help keep him warm. By the 5th day, Alex is doing much better. While looking around, she notices a bright reflection in the distance somewhere below the mountains. This gives them a bit of hope, so they continue their journey. But after walking for a long time, they run into a massive cliff that they cannot pass. Exhausted, they decide to rest. As night falls, they sleep close together to share body heat and survive the cold. On the 6th day, they keep moving forward, even though their food is almost gone. In such freezing conditions, they have to stop often and keep talking just to stay alert. After a short break, Ben notices that Nu is missing, only hearing distant barking. He follows the sound and discovers that Nubu has found an empty cabin. But while waiting, Alex suddenly falls into an icy hole. Ben rushes back just in time and saves her again. Inside the cabin, he tries to start the generator, but it no longer works. The only thing he finds is a single can of soup, barely enough to keep them going. That night, Alex finally starts to regain consciousness, and Ben is clearly relieved. Without wasting any time, he feeds her a bowl of soup he warmed over the fire, even though it means he has to stay hungry himself. On the 7th day, Ben goes back to his routine chopping wood and trying to hunt rabbits near the cabin. Meanwhile, Alex gets curious about the voice recorder Ben has been carrying and decides to play it. Unfortunately, Ben catches her in the act, which makes him upset, but in the end, he lets her listen. The recording turns out to be a message from Ben's wife, recorded the year before. Ben then shares the truth. His wife passed away from a brain tumor and he was not able to save her. Hearing this, Alex feels guilty for bringing up such a painful memory. In that moment, something shifts between them. Alex walks over and hugs him. From there, their bond grows stronger, and they begin to grow closer in a more personal way. By the 8th day, they continue their journey, still searching for any sign of help. While resting, Nu suddenly comes back and tries to wake them up. It seems like the dog has found something. Not far from their location, there is a logging site, seeing a chance for rescue. Ben quickly leads Alex in that direction. But just as they are about to reach it, disaster strikes. Ben steps into a bear trap and his leg gets caught. The trap is impossible to open. Realizing the situation, Ben urges Alex to go on without him and find help. Alex pushes forward and eventually reaches the logging site. After stopping a truck, she collapses from exhaustion. When Ben wakes up later, he finds himself in a hospital. He has been rescued. Soon after, he reunites with Alex, who is also recovering well. But their journey together comes to an unexpected stop when Alex's fiancé, Mark, arrives. Accepting the situation, Ben quietly walks away heartbroken. He returns to his life as a doctor, but not as a brain surgeon anymore. Because of the damage from the cold, his hands are no longer steady enough for surgery, so he becomes a rehabilitation doctor instead. Sometime later, Alex finds a camera memory card in her suitcase. After printing all the photos they took in the mountains, she sends them to Ben. When Ben receives the photos, he immediately calls her. The next day, they meet at a restaurant and catch up. During their meeting, Ben explains his new life as a rehabilitation doctor. Alex then reveals that she has called off her wedding with Mark. After a long conversation, they decide to go their separate ways, but deep down, neither of them can deny what they feel. In the end, they both turn back, walk toward each other, and finally embrace. So the moral of the story is, never trust a pilot who says, well, be fine without a plan. Because you might end up fighting a puma, eating it and falling in love instead of going to your own